Run! Run, Jack! Run!
The seventh VHS film sticks to the franchise's found footage and alien-themed horror roots, but surprisingly keeps things fresh. Despite being several entries deep, it avoids feeling tired, thanks in part to Brad Miska, the original producer, who's still on board. His smart approach of bringing in new directors and writers each time keeps the series alive. Big names like Joe Swanberg, Ty West, and Adam Wingard contributed early on, while filmmakers like Scott Derrickson jumped in later just for fun. It may be hit or miss, but some segments still manage to deliver chilling and gory entertainment. Needless to say, the stars of the show are its monsters, most of which are from the beyond. At least 4 of the 6 stories feature an alien monster or villain, and another has an Indian version of a succubus-like demon, but with a squeeze of AI to make her more interesting. So without further ado, let's jump right in and explore all 6 monsters and creatures from the latest VHS movie. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The Stork. So before I get into the Stork from Jordan Downey's segment of the same name, I must tell you that I would explore the frame narrative or the wraparound piece at the end. That's majorly because it is more or less a documentary and has little to no influence on the independent segments. So, written by Jordan Downey and Kevin Stewart, the short opens with a cop named Segura being inducted into a super-secretive police outfit called the W.A.R.D.E.N. The team had been looking into the mysterious disappearances of infants, not just a few, but 17 in a span of 3 months, and as I said, all infants. One of the guys named E.T. also lost his infant boy to the kidnappers. Nevertheless, with the latest kidnapping came a silver lining. They now had a guy who followed the kidnapper, and now W.A.R.D.E.N had narrowed the operation down to a single house. They wanted to put an end to the mess, and now was their chance. They reach what looked like a dilapidated and abandoned house with a weird guy walking outside with a chainsaw in the dead of the night. That can't be good. As they enter the house, they find out that it was filled with zombies, who by the way are called Brooders in the movie. One of these Brooders attacked, but the cop unit did not seem surprised. Clearly, they have been doing it for a while now. They do monster hunting for a living. Within no time, it becomes clear that something seriously sinister was at play. There were several glass jars labelled food, but the food in question was rotten and looked more like minced meat. Raw meat, I mean. Nevertheless, they kill several Brooders, and finally, E.T. hears the cries of a baby. He rushes upstairs and W.A.R.D.E.N loses touch with him. The units in charge stops anyone else from taking such impulsive decisions. But the question still remained, who was the one behind all these things? Eventually, they head to the 2nd floor where they find this huge mass of alien material, a meteorite that came crashing down from the roof and into the house. Of course, it does not take a Batman to figure out that whatever was causing the trouble had come from this meteorite. Clearly, it was an alien. Next, they reach the attic with some difficulty and come face to face with the giant alien Stork, who had somehow done its thing on the abducted babies. The infants now had snouts growing out from where their lips were supposed to be. Moreover, the Stork was actually feeding these humanoid Stork babies with its own giant beak. W.A.R.D.E.N could do only one thing now. They opened fire on the Stork, but the alien bird could take a hit. They fired at it with all their might, all the damned weapons, from shotguns to automatics, and it was only after a prolonged barrage of gunfire that the Stork finally succumbed. At the end, one of the guys crushes the dead creature's head with his foot, finally ending the tale of horrors. But I was left wondering, what of the newly formed human Stork babies? In the end, the cops decide not to tell anything to the parents, but that does not wrap up their stories, right? Now, it gets pretty clear at the end that W.A.R.D.E.N is a monster hunting squad sponsored by the city. Does it mean that they also have a research facility where monsters and creatures that can be studied are studied? Well, I guess we will never know. I personally love this segment. It's clear that Jordan Downey knows how to use a smaller budget to deliver bigger stuff. Plus, the Magini-like monsters and boot-stomping gore add more charm with some crazy special effects. Oh, and trust you me, this one is the most thrilling of the segments. A total adrenaline-induced ride. While the rest of the sequences do not have this cinematic video game feels, that's not an issue because each segment has something different and new to offer.
Do you want a selfie?
Diane, the robotic Desi demon, written by Virat-Pal and Evan Dixon. The second segment, called Dreamgirl, follows a couple of paparazzi called Arnab and Sonu. It becomes clear from the beginning that Arnab hates celebrities because all his personal struggles to make it big in Bollywood have been failing. Nevertheless, Arnab gets a call from his boss who tips him off about getting personal footage of Tara, a rising Indian superstar. Just so you know, Tara has been doing exceptionally great at the industry, and rumours abound that she owes her success to black magic. Arnab and Sonu reach Film City, where a man named Gippy guides them to Tara's vanity van. Sonu insists they first go and see Tara's ongoing shoot, a musical item number, where Tara was singing about being a goddess. Personally, I found this to be quite interesting because the whole sequence briefly pulls you away from the regular VHS tropes. It feels like you are watching something else entirely, but without any warning, you are thrown right into the middle of death, blood, body horror, and gore. How? Let's find out. Tara's manager, who has quite a bit of control over her, calls for a break because Tara seemed tired. It was now that Arnab entered the vanity van and hid in a closet, where he discovered what looked like a face in a bowl. He accidentally reveals himself. Initially scared, he tries to tell Tara that she should not be a pushover as she is super successful and influences many lives. He goes on to tell her that she was a goddess who could do anything. This gives Tara a lot of mental strength, and she decides it was time to leave the facade of a celebrity. Now, she wanted to live life like a regular human. She wanted to take Arnab's identity and, of course, his face. As Arnab tries to leave, she takes off her facial skin, a mask, only to reveal her truly demonic face with a glowing red eye. Arnab manages to escape the vanity van, but Demon Tara follows him. Soon, she kills the manager by spitting acid on him, and chaos ensues. Everyone tries to seek safety inside the studio, but the robotic demon follows them inside. She uses an electricity cable to charge herself and begins unleashing red-coloured electricity on everyone present inside. It does not take time for Tara to kill nearly everyone in the studio. Some she severed, the others she shocked and burned to death. She kills Sonu by piercing his eyes with her fingers and severs Arnab's limbs before flaying his face and making a mask out of it. The segment ends as she walks out of the studio with more paparazzi waiting for her. They initially think that she was wearing makeup, but learn the truth soon enough as the AI demon unleashes her electric fury. Needless to say, Dreamgirl is a harsh commentary on how the paparazzi could become parasitic. It is also a play on the human eagerness to control technology, especially AI.
Run! Run, Jack! Run!
The Killer Aliens. Zach is all set to celebrate his 30th birthday with his wife Jess, best friend Logan, and some friends by skydiving. It was all happy and gay, but not for long. Things take jog to the left, or rather, the situation spirals down when, just before jumping, they spot a UFO and fighter jets in the distance. An alien suddenly leaps onto their plane, causing a mid-air collision with the UFO and sending everyone spiraling toward an orange grove. Zach survives the fall, but it's gruesome. He discovers Logan's head has been cleanly severed from his body. As Zach stumbles through the grove, searching for Jess and the others, things get worse. An alien creature begins picking off survivors one by one in brutal fashion. Zach finds Jess, but it's too late. She's already been killed. Desperately fleeing, Zach hijacks a farmer's truck, but the alien isn't far behind. After a quick scuffle where Zach loses a few fingers, the alien blasts him with some kind of bright light and disappears. Just when Zach thinks he's in the clear and tries to drive away, the truck, and Zach along with it, is abducted by the alien craft. Live and Let Dive pulls you right into a skydiving trip turned nightmare as Martinez creates frantic, heart-pounding moments where skydivers face both free fall and alien horror. Expect gnarly deaths and intense action as characters get maimed, decapitated, and abducted by the terrifying Death Angel meets Splice-like invader. If you're not scared of heights yet, you will be.
Don't worry, the swelling will go down soon enough and then...
The crazy dog lady. Becky runs what she claims is a dog daycare centre, but her home is more like a taxidermy museum of her past pets. An animal rights activist group decides to investigate, sending two members, Stewart and Angela, along with their leader Miles's dog, Pickles. Becky initially plays the friendly host, showing off her doggy paradise, but it doesn't take long before she sees right through their clumsy attempts at undercover work. Taking them to her creepy basement, Becky reveals her twisted twisted secret. She's not just into dog care, she's into transforming people into human-dog hybrids. Yes, you heard that right. Previous nosy visitors like Stewart and Angela were captured and surgically altered by Becky into brainwashed human-pet hybrids. Meanwhile, Miles and the rest of the activist group, rather than calling the police, because they don't trust them, attempt to break in to rescue their friends. Big mistake. Becky's monstrous creations hunt them down, picking them off one by one. Later, even a porch burglar meets a grisly fate as he is mauled by one of Becky's terrifying human dogs. In Fur Babies, Christian and Justin Long crank up the weirdness to 11. Becky's character, a mix of chirpy dog mum and deranged madwoman, takes a page from Kevin Smith's Tusk, with gruesome surgeries and dog-human hybrids straight out of your worst nightmare. It's as hilarious as it is horrifying. Perfect for anyone who loves their horror served with a side of freaky. The alien abductors. In the last segment called Stowaway, Hallie, a woman who seems to have left behind her husband and child, is on a mission to uncover signs of extraterrestrial life in the Mojave Desert. After spotting a strange light crash from the sky, her curiosity leads her to a spaceship. Inside, she starts investigating the alien craft, unaware of the danger she's walking into. When she cuts herself, tiny nanites emerge, healing her wounds in a bizarre and unsettling way. The real horror starts when Hallie realizes these nanites aren't just fixing her, they're also mutating her by mixing her DNA with that of the animals the ship has kept in stasis. Things only get worse from here. As she attempts to hide from an alien, Hallie realizes she's trapped with no way out. The ship takes off, hitting light speed, and the violent trip causes her serious injuries. The nanites keep coming back to heal her, but each time they twist her body even more, leaving her in agonizing mutations. Unable to die, Hallie is left suffering, with her body in a constant state of grotesque transformation. Stowaway isn't about aggressive aliens hunting humans, but takes a more cerebral approach. Instead of a bloodbath, it's a slow-burn sci-fi horror where Hallie's discovery becomes her curse. With a more restrained style, it feels hauntingly different from the rest of W.A.R.D.E.N, leaving viewers pondering the terrifying possibilities of extraterrestrial encounters. The alien Cedar from the wraparound segment. The film's wraparound segment unfolds like a faux documentary as it dives into the eerie history of a house plagued by both paranormal and extraterrestrial events. Experts and UFO enthusiasts share their theories, while skeptics weigh in and create an immersive blend of fact and fiction. The house in question belonged to the son of Chinese immigrants who began experiencing bizarre encounters, which he meticulously filmed using various cameras. After the final segment, we witness the man asleep in his bedroom as an alien quietly enters, removes strange egg-like objects from his body, and, in a grotesque twist, forces the camera down his throat. Director Jay Chil mixes real-life UFO history and abduction lore with a fictional mystery, and sprinkles in nods to classics like Earth versus the Flying Saucers. The documentary approach ramps up the tension, which ultimately leads to the unsettling reveal of the alien encounter at the film's climax, where the footage left behind by the missing man gives a chilling glimpse of his fate. It seems that the alien in question was using the eldest son's body as a breeder, which was the reason behind his disappearance all those years ago. Presented as a mockumentary, it dissects two supposed alien encounter videos, with commentary from real YouTubers like Corridor Digital. The segment is dialogue heavy, but its payoff keeps viewers in the right mindset as the film transitions between various extraterrestrial horrors. W.A.R.D.E.N proves to be the strongest entry in the franchise and delivers top-tier practical effects, gnarly creatures, and existential sci-fi dread. It's the most cohesive and creative installment yet, promising more found footage chaos for Halloweens to come. All in all, I am satisfied by the 7th installment of the franchise and would like to see some more of this stuff. What about you? And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.